Nairobi, once called the Green City in the sun. Today perhaps not so green, but yes, it is in the sun, hot with competition. A land of many pleasures, but one addiction, and that is to fit in with the rest of the world. And in the process, thousands have been lost. This is a story of young individuals trying to find themselves in the heat of norm, trend, competition, and misunderstanding. I just want to look at something different and try to understand it for what it is. These guys are built from pain and they love it. This is Jijenge. One of the biggest names in bodybuilding today, Kai Green, remember something that was continuously hammered into him. That school or the library is a place where people go to when they want to build their minds. And the gym, however, is where they go to when they want to build their bodies. Today, after years of experience in competitive bodybuilding, Kai struggles to understand how people are so easily able to separate the body from the mind. See, to him, his physique is an expression of his being as a thinker. I have reached out to 5 promising young fitness enthusiasts within Nairobi. The goal? To try and understand what they do and what it takes to do it. Behind me is Alvin Lee and his partner working out at his own home using their own equipment. It doesn't get better than that.
Ten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30.
I took long to break my voice. And your party adolescence. So I had to put something to show that I've grown and the voice will come in later. So that was it. So I say building muscle before voice will break.
I'm currently 95 kgs, so this is the heaviest I've trained calisthenics at, 95 kgs. But I'm pushing.
I was at Strathmore University. So by that time I was in first year. So I was at the cafeteria and I was so much into dancing. I used to do break dancing a lot. So I was watching some videos on YouTube. Then I looked across and there's a guy watching a YouTube video of some guys doing calisthenics, like hardcore now, using pull-up bars and all that. So I just zoomed in. I just grabbed the name. It was Hannibal for King. Then from there, I now went and watched on my own and etc. So I wanted to start doing the superhuman moves they're doing and put them in dance. But what happened is the fitness just took over, and I just kept on forgetting about dance.
8 more. Whoa! Still my set. Beast mode. Let's go, let's make money.
Alvin is full of life and not afraid to show it. Quite the character, I must say.
Honestly, let me tell you, it's just attitude. That's me. My attitude is really, really different. Like, bring me any obstacle and I just want to crush it. Like, I don't even consider it a challenge to me. Like, I just like going ahead, I don't care what's in front. Just hit you, keep going. Yeah.
In my ethnic culture, Alvin will be the shining example of what a man should look like. Big, muscular, strong, and single-minded. What he does may look easy, but it's not. I will remember to tell you how we found that out. To some of us, this looks like fun and games, but at the moment, this
15 pull-ups.
is his life.
God damn it.
Calisthenics is the art of controlling your body in space, like doing pulling, pushing, staying in one position for a long time, like taking control of your body mass. That's it.
You don't choose weights?
No weight.
Even though these young men have no rich history of weightlifting or gymnastics, they exhibit immense strength and balance, as is shown by this pose they made.
There was this picture that I saw of a guy holding two bottles, I think it was soda bottles, and there's a move called a plunge. He was holding onto them, and the only point of contact was the bottle to the ground and the bottles he was holding. The rest of his body was suspended in the air. That's the first time I saw about, I actually discovered calisthenics. And then I saw Alvin actually doing all that stuff. As in, I saw him walking around and I recognized him, told him, this is the guy I always see on social media doing all these exercises. So I had to DM him or inbox him.
40.
I asked Alvin what challenges he faces in what he does, and his response was not what I expected. But the more I got to know about him, the more I knew that this was exactly what I always needed to expect.
But the good thing about this is that you're going down.
Me sina time, unajua, sina time ya you know, wasting time complaining and lamenting. Yeah. So all you have to do is get out there, try and make it. That's it. I hate complaining because after you complain, then what happens? So you'll just stay there. Exactly. So I just, this is the problem, get a solution, act on it. And that's how I do it mostly.
And friend, there it is. A spontaneous but brilliant summary of the essence of Jijenge. We cannot always just sit and talk about our problems. Sometimes we need to take initiative. With more than half of Kenya's youth population being unemployed, I think I'm okay with a few people making a living from this. Wait, I haven't forgotten. I'd promised to tell you how we discovered what Alvin does isn't easy.
Still got some juice, bro.
My associate in Jijenge, Anthony, decided to take up a challenge and do one set of what they did. And well, let's just say, ukishindana na ndovu kunya, tapasuka msamba.
20 more. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 2. Come on. Unafanya hivi kila siku. Yeah, how many times? There's even a day we you do like maximum rest, review, 5, you keep moving.
Like, you don't go at it like cutesy session. It's war. Like, you go, you're probably gonna hurt something, but like it's war. So in the same mentality with life, it's war. Anything you do, if you go with that mentality, I feel like you can push, because you don't go to war to lose. War is all or nothing. You either get killed or kill, you know.
JJ Gasheru just turned 23, and his grit in what he does is nothing short of infectious. Mike, his training partner, knows this well.
In 2014, I met, I think I can be allowed to say, I met this fat guy in the gym. Yeah, he used to be so determined. He always used to go into one corner, he'd take his weights, go into one corner, and he'd do like, I noticed that he'd do like the same exercises all the time. Why I liked him so much was that he was passionate about what he was doing.
Well, the first time I got into a gym, I just finished high school, and the high school I used to go to, they had high school graduations. And I remember the week before high school graduation, walking around with my mom, looking for a suit that I would wear for my graduation. At that time I was like 19, 18, and I couldn't get a suit. At 19, being 134 kgs, it's really hard to get a suit anywhere. And I remember spending graduation in my bed. I not eating, just like, I don't want to say crying, but just And the next week I told my dad, like, I don't want to be like this anymore.
Jay struggled with obesity in his childhood. Often felt that his weight and size could not let him fit in. Pun of course not intended. In 2014, 1.9 billion adults were considered overweight. In Kenya's urban areas, 1 in 2 women are obese.
Like if you see someone who's serious, you also get motivated. But if you see a fat guy and he's serious, you'll be like, okay, how am I supposed to get motivation from a fat guy? Eventually we started talking, we started bonding, and noticed that we had like similar kind of goals in terms of training.
Mike and Jay, although of different age, history, and even cultural heritage, are brothers in the gym, pacing each other through the workouts. Few words are exchanged, and when they do, it's often in low tones with laughter at the end.
I don't think people understand, and it's okay because it's my life. Like, you don't have to understand what I do. I honestly don't care. I actually talked with a friend the other time, a friend called Shiro. She's also a lifter, yeah? And we were talking about how annoying it is when people say, come on, it's not that serious. It's never that serious, you know? You're like, shut up. As in, of course, it gets to a point where you're like, you know what, fine, you can't understand my life. But for me, it is, people don't understand how serious it is because the main question I get asked is, what do you take? Like what I take is the determining factor of, and I'm just like, it's not about what you take. It's about like the work you put in, you know. So, the growth like between when I started and now is just, and that's the most motivating thing also. Like, it's not even like it's gotten to a point where the growth is so big of like the whole fitness industry is that I'm not even looking at Kai anymore. I'm looking at people like Leon, Wedge, and the Just Jimmy guys, and like these guys are pushing, and the Killians, and that's like now driving me. Like, yo, it's not even, you're looking at people who are around you. That's how far it's grown. That you don't need the guys the guys this here are like really growing so fast that they become a motivation themselves. And like in a few years, the fitness industry will be like, people are so health conscious now. I wake up early in the morning to start my errands at 5:30. In the roads, people are running and people are watching what they eat. So it's going places. It's bound to grow. It's definitely bound to grow.
After hearing about how Jay started training, I almost immediately assumed he continues to do so to keep himself healthy and fit. Well, that's just partly true now.
Like, there's a health factor to it, the fitness factor to it, the longevity of life, but it gets to a point where it's more than that, where it's now a meditation place. Like, you can have a bad day or a good day. It can rain outside, it can be sunny, but you come into the gym and that 100-pound dumbbell will still be a 100-pound dumbbell, no matter how bad your day is, no matter how good it is. So it's just that it's good to have that constant thing in your life. You just come, you know, headphones on, world off, and for 2 hours, 30 minutes, it's just your time. Like, at that time, like, I'm not thinking about anything else. Like, yeah.
And to him, that's just it. It's as simple and clear as that. What he does is not a means to achieve an end, but it does appear to him that the means can be the end we all chase. The peace and clarity this world gives him is his goal.
We live in a time and age where people are very multi-talented. I've met many people who are very talented as far as sports and fitness are concerned, but they don't really get the support they need.
It is hard not to notice right away how seriously Jijenge takes his workouts. And yes, Jijenge is his real name. For now, let's call him D and save my ethnic tongue from shame. And D was open enough to let me see his first meal of the day.
My favorite. 3 minimum. The size varies, but I have snacks in between those meals. So
like Steve
Yeah.
probably has like 6 meals in a day.
Oh, so if I'm counting snacks, yeah, probably 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
The density or lack thereof depends on intensity of what I'm doing the whole day. If I'm working out, the intensity of the workout itself, and other factors like the environment, the weather for that particular day. So, yeah.
Or maybe your goals too. Your goals.
Exactly, yeah. If it's something
Yep.
related, obviously.
One thing is for sure, he's very detailed in expressing himself. There's careful thought that is put to his responses. He's also quite easy to talk to.
I've been into fitness, I've been into sports all my life, so for me to say that I'm a fitness enthusiast is a bit of an understatement to begin with, because I've always been active as a kid. I couldn't sit still. My parents always say I was always active, up and down, even in the house, outside. I was not an easy child to get to sleep when it was time to sleep. I don't know anything else outside of fitness and training, so to say I'm a fitness enthusiast is a bit of an understatement.
This field, perhaps symbolic of his path of life, feels a bit lonely. I mean, I could literally hear him breathe. However, like many young fitness enthusiasts today, he has found company in his journey through social media.
The YouTube channel came about because of people's questions. I never actually thought I'd ever have a YouTube channel, but it got to a point people used to ask me, and people still do ask me, about fitness, about nutrition, about training, about performance, and I just wanted to, once it got to a point where it was out of hand, I started thinking, how can I just share my life, share my experiences with other people for free on the internet or on a social media platform such as YouTube, because it's easily accessible. I thought about starting a YouTube channel for the people and not just for me. So my YouTube channel is a combination of my personal experiences, and I share a lot of my expertise and stuff to do with research on eating, on health, on performance, on training and all that stuff.
D is like that teacher we never had but all wished we did. Everything is explained in calm detail, and there's a desire to not only share information but also the motivation and drive.
I like to forget everything I'm doing, or rather that's going on in my life when I'm in that situation. You can only get better as long as you're obsessed with something. And if you're not obsessed, it means there's something sidetracking you. So you need to be in a zone where people are actually even asking questions. You're unavailable because you can't stop thinking about that thing. And the only way you can get there is by being obsessed with what it is that sets your soul on fire. So I have a personal mantra called desire, drive and determination, and that's what really drives me to do anything that I've set my mind towards. I always remember that phrase, desire, drive and determination. Yeah, I enjoy everything I do. Obviously, the way I'm set up is I like to take things step by step, and obviously 5 years from now, God willing, I'll be doing things on a larger scale, still playing a role in helping people live their lives in a healthy manner, which is always the aim. And hopefully with that education that I've imparted into them, they'll be able to help someone else down the line. So it's a never-ending cycle where I help someone helps someone else, and those people help other people. So it can only get better as time goes on.
I looked up the meaning of the name Dimitri, a Greek baby name meaning earth lover. What Dimitri has taken interest in, however, is something that most of us will not associate with love.
I see myself as a holistic individual. So for me, I believe that a human being is a sum of all parts together. Think of Muay Thai as kickboxing, with steroids. The reason I say that traditional kickboxing involves kicking and punching, whereas Muay Thai now incorporates the 8 limbs of the body. So you start with your fists, your elbows, your knees and your shins, and also clinch work. So now that is Muay Thai. It's also the national sport of Thailand. This is what kids from the young as age 6, they start training Muay Thai as a way to survive in Thailand. Yeah.
I asked Dimitri what made him think of starting Muay Thai. His response sounded like a page torn off from a Karate Kid movie script. A victim of bullying in a country ranked among those with the highest levels of bullying. Yes, that's right. According to datasets from the World Health Organization, Kenya ranks among countries with the highest levels of bullying, with a prevalence rate of 57% nationally.
I got introduced to Muay Thai by my cousin, and the way I got introduced to it was because of bullying in high school and primary school. I was really picked on. I was a very small individual, believe it or not, in primary school and high school. I was bullied tremendously, and I can never forget the day. It was February 13th, 2009. It was the worst day of my life till today. So there was this bully, and I was in Form 2 at the time. So the guy was like, you know what, I want to fight you, Dimitri. One of his friends was an instigator. You know, in high school, the guys are like, hey, you know, instigating the fights. One of his friends told him that I abused his mother. And you know how it is in primary school and high school. You abuse somebody's mother, it's game over. Do you know? So I remember walking up the stairs slowly. It was quiet in school. No one, people had left. I opened the class door like this. Close to 50 Form 2s, and majority of the high school people were in that class. 50 to 60 people inside that class that day. People had their phones and everything, and the guy was in the middle of the ring. They had made a ring, and they closed the door behind me. I was not leaving. I know it may sound like a movie, but that is exactly what happened. So, long story short, we ended up fighting, and I ended up having a bruised rib and a fractured nose at the end of it.
In training, Dimitri is quite calm, but what he does has lethal potential. Makes me wonder what will happen if he fought the bully today.
Yeah, so I started Muay Thai in April 2009, 2 months basically after I was told about it. And I was training with the purpose of going back to fight that guy. But then 6-7 months into the training, I realized what I was being taught here is not a joke. This is not something you go and take into the street and fight somebody. You can end somebody's life. They can never be the same again after you fight them. So, you know, I just took it as a way to improve myself. I adopt this mindset like I plunge myself into hell and become the devil, and I'm fighting my way out of hell. So for me, this is like I'm in the grip. I am pushing my hardest. There's no excuses, no asking myself questions. It's a go or go hard or go home.
Training for Muay Thai is not easy. From my observation, it involves a cocktail of routines that require endurance, strength, flexibility, and explosive power. Oh, and one other thing. Get this. Dimitri's coach, Andre, looked like he was 40 years old. Apparently, he's 60 years old. Talk about the fountain of youth.
I love to dance. I love to dance. You know, I love to dance also because it helps the Muay Thai. Anything, even salsa, you know, it helps me also with my hip mobility, which is crucial in Muay Thai. A good Muay Thai fighter has very good hip mobility. So in the clubs, when I go out, many people like to pick on my friends, and my friends would call me, and I'm the kind of person who I crave peace with the person. So I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna fight you. I apologize to the person, I grab my friend, we go. Because I tell him there's no value in fighting. You fight this guy, you'll end up in jail the next day, you know, and that's the end of your life. Okay, locally in Kenya, the sport is not that big yet, but it's growing. The bubble is about to be formed, and it's going to be great. So locally, if you're fighting locally, the low pay, that kind of thing, but things are shaping up, and very soon now, fighters will start, you know, seeing a reward for their efforts. Yeah, I can add, nowadays, if you look at our society, we've been gripped by a lot of depression. If you look at many kids nowadays are taking their own lives. I've lost like 3 personal friends this year to suicide through this, and I was like, I could have helped them because I've reached that point of suicide. So for me, I'm like, this is a growing culture, because we're in the world of instant gratification and everybody is very impatient. If something doesn't work out, they feel, what else? What next? They don't have the patience, they don't have the strength to move on. So I feel like in Kenya, Muay Thai is here for people to grasp it and use it to improve themselves within and also without. Yeah.
Dimitri may have started his journey from a point of anger and humiliation, but he continues in it in self-control and pride. Like us, he fights so many things, and his preferred weapon of choice is Muay Thai.
You've seen our gym. You've seen our gym. It's not a modern gym, but iko na all equipments. As you've seen, it's called Powerhouse. It's in Yamabati. Iko na vitu zimemekiwa like machuma zimechongwa, some are bought. Mashini zimetengenezwa na hizi tu hapa tu locally. And it's a good gym. A cheap one, it's 70 bob per session.
Circumstances? Steve laughs at this word, circumstance. By all standards, he is what his peers would call a beast. And through nothing but hard work and sheer dedication, he molds his body to what he sees perfect.
I started training back in 2012, not 2014, after high school. Venye nilikuwa nimeenda Kotiabake, nikagongwa huko, nikaambiwa bule nimechuma. So I started lifting with the stones. You know the stones, nilikuwa nafanya tu bench press only. Simiti hizo. Only bench press and biceps, yeah. Ulikuwa unacheza bake. I started back in with my friend Paipenjay, OJ. I don't know if you know him. The real name is Joseph Oyata. We used to play basketball together. So like yeye alikuwa anaenda gym, hizo modern gym. Mimi nilikuwa nainua mawe. I didn't have that cash. So akaniambia, buda we, itabidi tumeshona. Then kaendelea tukaona body na peak. And that was it.
Powerhouse is a gym of mostly young people familiar with each other's struggle. So it's not surprising to notice that some of its members talk more than they work out. I notice Steve tries to keep his routine sacred. He says little throughout his session. Perhaps to him, it's more than just gym time.
Okay, my family, they support me in some way. Like, you can't, lazima tu hao ndo wanilishe, like for now. Nikirudi home, napata food imepikwa. That's also support. Because mjua kuna watu wengine, they have to get the food for themselves. Na huwezi train bila kukula. Then hiyo do ya gym, you see, do ya gym wanakupea. No. Lakini hawakupei directly at end ulipe gym. They give you money but you una figure out what to do with it. Unajua some people train for different purposes. Like kuna msata trainer kwe fit, kuna wale wasa wagonjwa, wale wanafanywa physiotherapy. Yeah. Kuna hao wasa anataka kutrain ajae, akue bouncer. Kuna msata anataka kutrain a look good, akue model. Like me, I'm a fitness model. I train because I want to look good. Yeah.
So yes, at least one stereotype plays out. Steve admits he works out to have a good-looking body because he models. So I decided to take the opportunity and write on with the stereotypes. Decided to ask him whether he's received increasing attention from the ladies. I must admit, his answer was as politician-like as it could be.
Attention ya madem increase with increasing fitness.
As in their attention to men when you wamelift.
Unaona madem wamekuwa more attracted to you sasa unakaa a bit more fit.
Yeah, that's true. Cause okay, madem pia wanapendanga wale people who look good. Hata wewe pia unaweza penda dem anakaa poa, like yeah.
So it's natural.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Really.
Either way, Steve has his eyes set on endless possibilities with both short-term and long-term goals. His focus remains razor sharp.
Right now I'm trying to bulk. I'm trying to add more size to compete in the Kenya bodybuilding events, yeah. That's my goals. Like I have, like right now I'm 94 kgs. I want to get till 100 kgs. And my legs are my weakness. That's what I'm doing, I'm focusing.
Wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Utatoboa.
Yeah, Tatoboa. Next year, but next year I'll be on stage.
When we started this project, I had imagined that at the end, we would have one conclusion about this group of people. But I've learned, like any other field of life, this one thrives on variety. To some, this is a path towards a goal, and to others, this is just therapy. Peaceful to them, it's their destination. What we see as up and down movement to them is like an artist stroking his paintbrush. The canvas is their bodies, painted to what they see as perfect and beautiful in their eyes. I started off trying to understand a group of people as one, but instead, I understood them as individuals. It's simply not possible to look at a group of people and say that we understand them, same as race, tribe, and even gender. Big as they are struggled with the same things we have: poor self-image, bullying, and even weight issues. In each of them, I saw one of us. In some way, we are all built from pain.